Kitco News special coverage of Paris NFT Day is brought to you by Okra, permission DeFi composable index and strategy execution platform.
We're speaking with Marie Tatibouet, the CMO of Gate.io, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world, here at the Paris Blockchain Summit. Welcome to the show, Marie.
Thank you so much for having me on.
It's a pleasure to have you. Talk to us about Gate.io, its history, how it's grown, the user base, and some of the products listed.
Absolutely. So Gate.io is one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges. We are celebrating our 9-year anniversary next month.
Yeah.
Very exciting. A lot of new developments ahead. But yeah, Gate.io started out in China, but we've really grown a lot worldwide. We have really community from everywhere around the world. And basically, Gate.io is your gateway to cryptocurrency. So we're always aiming to be the one-stop shop for your trading
One of the world's top 10 largest crypto exchanges by volume, correct?
Absolutely. And for derivatives in, of course, the jurisdictions that allow.
Yeah. 10 million users, 1,300 cryptos listed, you told me offline. So tell me about some of the most popular tokens, projects, cryptos that are being offered on your program in terms of, or your exchange rather, in terms of trading volume, on-ramp adoption, and so on.
Sure. So Gate.io is typically the first quality centralized exchange with real volume to list all of the latest altcoin gems. One of the first ones to list Ocean, Solana, and if you go and get the airdrop then, you probably will see your bags grow quite a bit. So that's always a great thing that we see. We recently listed one of the first ones to list ApeCoin. So much growth that you can see from that. And in general, I really have to say Gate is the altcoin gem exchange. And that's what our users are here for. And that's what they really like to discuss as well, all of the new technologies.
Well, just in altcoins, and you mentioned Ape, there's a lot of hype around NFTs right now. Is that the area that you're seeing the most growth?
Absolutely. I do have to say NFTs are going to be so huge. Right now, all of the NFTs, it's really only collectibles, right? But with the Metaverse in particular and all the NFTs that are going to be used in the Metaverse, with all of the GameFi kind of projects that, again, are going to have all these NFTs used in the GameFi projects. And for so many new things that we haven't even thought of yet, NFTs are going to be there. So I'm really excited about the NFT space. And I'm really excited to see us go beyond just the collectibles and have some real use cases.
Well, tell us about these real use cases, because you're talking about NFTs being utilized in the metaverse. How exactly is that possible?
Right. I mean, you can use your NFT, for example, if you
Let's say I buy the Bored Ape on which is listed on your exchange, right?
Yeah.
Is that usable in the metaverse for any sort of reason?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a really interesting question, and we're still at the very beginning. I think this is the first real year that we're seeing the metaverse and the user experience for the metaverse come out. I'm very excited to see all of these different tools for blockchain technology being used inside the metaverse. The number one of which, of course, is NFTs. And so maybe you might use your Bored Ape to print the logo on your t-shirt that you're going to use and go around in the Sandbox or Decentraland or something like that. I do think also they are going to be using NFTs to build inside the metaverse. There's a lot of different applications, and especially I think in gaming, we are also going to see a lot of these high value items will probably be NFTs. And I have met a lot of gaming projects and talking about making different partnerships so that their NFTs can be used in a different game. And I think it's such a nice thing to see all of the partnerships that are happening in the space. And I think that's the best example of that.
A lot of investors I've talked to have been telling me that NFTs have been overhyped, that they've been kind of blown out of proportion in terms of valuations, and that we will see a correction in value and maybe even sort of a decline in sentiment and popularity for the next while. How would you respond to that?
I do think there has been a lot of hype, but I think everything has a lot of hype and then comes down, just like with the dot-com bubble. And but then eventually there is adoption. Right now, NFTs are mostly collectibles, but we are evolving towards having more use cases.
Yeah.
And once these use cases are more tangible, might I say,
Right.
I think we'll see a new explosion of NFTs.
Do you have any data on the types of investors who go on your platform and buy NFTs in particular? Are they collectors? Are they art enthusiasts? Are they retail investors? Are they institutional investors? Hedge funds, for example. I was talking to some hedge funds a while back who are starting to look at NFTs as an investment, as an alternative asset, which is crazy because they're traditional investors. So what kind of people are on your platform buying NFTs?
On our platform, we're seeing a lot of retail traders, but we are increasingly seeing like institutional investors become interested as well. And then also retail traders for NFTs, but also a lot of cryptocurrency retail traders who are just interested in trading crypto are slowly dipping their toes into buying NFTs as well.
Okay, and what's going to ramp up this adoption curve, do you think?
The use cases for all of the different NFTs,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. Now let's talk about regulation around NFTs. Currently, how is it classified? As a piece of art? As a security? One would imagine that if it was classified as a security, the SEC in the United States, for example, would have to come in, and there would be more scrutiny around the trading of NFTs.
Right. I mean, of course, it depends on the jurisdiction. But what we have definitely seen is previously a lot of these NFT marketplaces, they were doing it without KYC, know your customer, and that is increasingly less and less the case. Which originally, obviously on Gate.io, we do KYC, and we thought maybe that might prevent us from onboarding some of the new users, because a lot of the new users to crypto are actually being onboarded with NFTs for the first time,
Right.
not with Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Yeah.
And what we are seeing now is like the KYC is not really an obstacle anymore, because increasingly you have to do KYC to be able to enable that.
That's a really interesting point that you brought up, that people are entering the crypto space through NFTs and not through some of the more traditional established coins like Bitcoin. Kevin O'Leary, for example, famous investor and Shark Tank star, has said that he thinks NFTs will be bigger than Bitcoin by market cap. He's talking about the total NFT market. What do you think? Do you agree?
Absolutely. I think 100%. Because the NFT market can be so many different things. And I really do think, for example, all of the art pieces will have NFTs or fractionalized NFTs as well associated to them. Every single piece of art, for sure. Not now, but 10 years from now, I'm almost certain. So if you're just going with that, plus all the NFTs that we're seeing in other kind of verticals, I do think that Kevin O'Leary is correct.
Okay. Yeah. So the adoption from a collectible item to a mainstream kind of utility, do we need to see more? Which industry do you think needs NFTs the most that we haven't seen yet? Is it in the healthcare space? I've heard from people who trade NFTs that the real estate sector, for example, is picking up on NFTs. You can actually buy deeds of sale and NFT that. So that's something new.
Absolutely. I think anything like real estate, identity, like all of those kind of things, NFTs can be very important. I think also one of the very exciting things, for example, with like NFT magic bots and some other that's fueled by Gatechain and some other blockchains, if you can make the NFTs minting at $0, that's really going to enable a lot of things. Because of course,
that's an obstacle. I don't want to mint NFTs at whatever amount of ETH.
Yeah, it's fine if like it's just a collectible. That's, let's be honest, a lot of them, they're just luxury items right now, right? They're digital luxury items. And, so if that digital luxury item is worth $1 million, who cares about paying 100 like ETH gas fee? But if you're doing it for other things that might not have so much value, then you can't afford those kind of fees.
Okay. What's your favorite NFT right now that you're watching out for?
That's a really great question, David. I do have to say, I really think that there is something that's happening in the like ticketing space, and I do think that's really exciting. I haven't really seen anyone make anything of it, but who knows? Maybe someone in the space will start that up.
Ticketing space?
Yeah.
Like concerts and events?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
you know,
Mark Cuban was into NFTs and he was talking about ticketing for the Dallas Mavericks. How does that work?
Yeah. So
why do you need an NFT ticket?
Well, I think one of the things is, first of all, it's non-fungible, right? So you're sure that it's yours. If it's going to be refunded, you know that it's yours. There's not going to be any fake
I can't
tickets.
scalp my tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
No,
you
that's
can.
that's kind of a shame. Well, yeah.
You could.
You could. I could sell the NFT.
I should think so.
Okay.
And then also, once the event has passed, the NFT, if you make it like a dynamic NFT,
Right.
then you could, maybe the original NFT would be green.
Yeah.
Then once the event has passed, it might be red. And then you can also use them kind of as badges that you've been
Right.
to these events.
Okay.
Maybe if you have several of them, you can access an extra VIP level, whatever. I think there's, in the events and ticketing space, there's a lot of opportunities because it is all happening online.
Okay. Let's go back to the metaverse for a minute now. There isn't just one metaverse. People have to understand there's different metaverses in different sectors and industries. What is one that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of them, Sandbox, Decentraland, and they all have kind of their different angles. Sandbox has been doing a lot of partnerships. Decentraland has been doing a lot of representations. We're also seeing, I've met the guys from PAX Worlds, and they're really partnering with a lot of high quality architects and stuff like that. It's very exciting. And one of the things that I also think is really cool in all these metaverses is that all these creators are coming into the space. And before, sometimes it's been kind of difficult for them to be able to monetize their craft. And in this way, they are able to monetize their craft, A. And B, we're also seeing a lot of creators that have come in that don't necessarily have such a formal education in terms of arts,
Right.
but they're just building and they're being compensated or rewarded for the fact that they're actually building. And that's very powerful.
One area that I'm personally interested in is virtual real estate. I like physical real estate. I understand the physical real estate market,
Sure.
but why are people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars buying virtual property? What's the use case there?
Right. So there will be a lot of things happening in the virtual world in the future. Like I said, every virtual world will have its own use case, but I can definitely imagine we are definitely not there yet. But
So with physical real estate, the value of your property is also determined by the scarcity of land, right?
Right.
Presumably in the virtual space, there's infinite amounts of land you can build. So why would anybody need to invest in that space?
well, I think it depends on how they've designed the space,
fair enough.
right?
Yeah.
And also how you move within the space,
Yeah.
right? So if you do have to get to a different part in the space by bus or whatever, you can't just instantly go to a different part.
Right.
Then you have to spend time, which is value, right? To be able to go there and within, of course, you can go and buy some plot of land that's very far away, but if nobody's going to come, is your land really worth anything, right? But what is cool, I think, about Sandbox is that you can go buy that plot of land over there, but if you interact with all your neighbors in that part of the land, then you're able to create a community, and maybe that will be the new center.
Yeah.
And it's all kind of starting
Would
now.
you buy virtual real estate or a car, virtual yacht? Who is it that I think it was Logan Paul who bought a virtual yacht for $600,000? Can't remember if it was Logan Paul or Jake Paul, one of the Paul brothers. But yeah,
I have definitely been exploring But my work at Gate.io is very time consuming, I have to say.
Let's finish on Gate.io. Okay, so it's a sector you're interested in, maybe not investing in currently yourself. Gate.io, how are you staying competitive? I mean, the company's been around for many years, like you said, not the only exchange in the block. There's other big ones.
Of course.
How are you staying competitive?
Like I said, our BD team works really hard to find all of those altcoin gems, and that's what brings people to Gate. And then they just stay because they really love the user experience.
Do you have users that might say to you, Marie, I'm concerned about this project being a scam, or how do I know I'm not going to get rug pulled? Do you screen for projects before you list them?
Of course.
Screening tools you use and how people can make sure that these projects are legitimate.
Oh, well, that's a great question,
Yeah.
David. It's a very private thing, all of the research that has to happen.
Right.
There are a lot of different tools that we use, and there's a lot of time that is spent on all of that. But what I can definitely tell you is everything is vetted from front to back.
Just give us maybe a few, maybe not the entire process or criteria, but just a few red flags that you would look out for if you were picking a project, let's say, to be listed, or even just investing yourself. Things that would maybe say to you, yeah, I'm not so sure about this project. I'm not sure if it's legitimate.
Typically if it's an anonymous team, that's typically a red flag. If we see that there's fake volume being pumped, obviously that's not just a red flag, that's like a non sequitur, right?
No fake volume, guys. Yeah.
And you can also tell, I think any talented marketing person can tell if they've bought followers, if there are a lot of bots interacting, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So all of that comes up pretty clearly.
So when Squid Game coin came out, you didn't jump on the bandwagon and say, I got to list that.
Have to be really careful about what you're listing, that's for sure.
Okay, excellent. Well, best of luck to you, Marie, and your team. I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching Kitco News.
Kitco News special coverage of Paris NFT Day is brought to you by Okra, permission DeFi composable index and strategy execution platform.